We talk about SIM registration and other pressing consumer issues with the Philippine Coalition of Consumer Welfare's founder, Ricardo Samaniego. Rick, thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word. Consumers face many issues these days, and one of them, as discussed by AC Nichols, is a SIM card registration which starts tomorrow. Are consumers ready?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Well, with regards to SIM card registration, I think there are so many challenges as far as this. While the telcos are united in this cause in registering as much as SIM card as they can, but based on our experience, di ba? We have this national ID registration. We started sometime in 2018 or 2019. I myself registered in July 2019, and I got it in October of 2022. That's the national ID registration.
And
but
of course,
Rick,
the deadline for the SIM card registration is within 6 months. It seems like many of our kababayans have not been educated and informed about the process.
Yes, that's basically the problem. Yung planning with regards to this kind, no, yung whole government approach na sinasabi ng gobyerno natin. And this really face challenge to all of us. I was asking an expert on this, kung how much is the allotted time for each SIM card registration. And as of this interview, no one has answered me about it, ano? So anyway, let's hope that this will be registered. This is particularly challenging sa mga senior citizens and as well as PWDs.
And those who really don't understand online registration, that will really be a challenge, as you mentioned, for PWDs and for senior citizens. And of course, another issue for consumers, Rick, is the internet. No, all of us are so dependent on the World Wide Web to be connected. And it seems like during the holiday season, we're having a difficult time connecting, especially with our carriers.
Yes, right now I agree with you. I myself have experienced it. The other day I went to the supermarket and pay in GCash, but it was not able to credit. And believe me, we are, I think, both from Makati and at the heart of where the telco is.
Yes.
So talagang may problema with regards to it. And you know what? I was invited in Telco Summit in December 6, and I had the opportunity to talk with President BBM. And I told him exactly what's really happening on the ground, vis-a-vis with what have been presented by our telco's friend in the summit.
Why can't we not level up? Why can we not level up on our internet connection? What is wrong with our telco carriers?
Well, they said that the telco towers, they have problems with the permits, no? In the countryside, which we were able to help them because I'm a partner of the anti-red tape of ease of doing business, one of their mandate. And from 82 permits, it will lower down to 3212. So basically, wala na silang masasabi with regards to that. Pero I think we need more players in the industry in order to improve the service of telcos. And I think at this time, we have to take a serious consideration of the national broadband, Rico. We started it in PGM's time, but I think right now we need to seriously consider of having our national broadband, Rico.
And of course, the priority here is the consumer's welfare. We're paying monthly for all of these internet costs. And it's not cheap, Rick, no? Okay, let's move on now, no? Because prices continue to soar for goods and services. Inflation last month, Rick, was at 8%. Will it continue to rise? And are kababayan consumers hurting?
Of course, they are hurting decades now already with this inflation, especially so that the ever-increasing cost of prices of petroleum products. And ang nakakagulat dito, miski wala pa ng Ukraine and Russian war, we, the consumer, observe na 3 days before an important holiday, like for instance, Holy Week, December 25, Christmas, and then New Year, kahit steady na yung presyo ng petroleum kasi yung mga nagpo-produce is nag-i-snow sila ngayon. Pero sa atin, talagang patuloy ang increase. I think the Energy Regulatory Commission must check on this. And talagang sinusubok ang resiliency ng Pilipino.
And of course, Rick, I've been talking to a lot of economists and they say this inflation rate will continue to rise until at least the first quarter of 2023. And now we're seeing a lot of revenge spending, revenge traveling. Everyone is spending, especially their 13-month bonus. Are we likely to see our kababayan starting to save after January 1st and spending will be less and we could see the growth in the economy continuing to backtrack?
Well, actually, inflation is global phenomenon. But in the Philippines, talaga makikita mo what has been projected. Like for instance, 7 to 8% na tayo ngayon. It's not actually happening in the ground, especially the consumers. The government, nagpalabas sila ng mga suggested retail price sa DTI. And tumulong din kami na magpalabas ng executive order. For instance, ng Liempo last year, nasabi 350, but sa market, it's about 450, 500. Now, I gave a winning formula on this no one of the Senate hearing, and I told them to restore or to have this kadiwa nung time ni Presidente Marcos Sr. And gladly, ito naman, pinalabas ni Presidente BBM in Manila, wherein yung kadiwa kasi doon nakakabili talaga ng mga presyo ng basic commodities na mura, no?
Yeah.
For instance, 25 pesos na price yung umpisahan ni BBM, but then in a few rolling story in Manila, but not nationwide. Unlike noong time ni Presidente Marcos at the time, siguro iba ngayon. Ano?
Rick,
sabi nga nila,
Rick, we have 15 seconds before the end of this interview. How would you rate this Marcos administration from a scale of 1 to 10? 1, failure, 10, excellent in terms of addressing the needs of consumers. You have importation of sugar, importation of rice, importation of onions, you have the SIM card registration, internet connectivity. How would you assess and rate so far his administration the first 6 months in terms of answering the needs of consumers?
Well, in fairness to the president, thinking out of the box, he already holds the Department of Agriculture, and if I will rate him, it would be parang hindi pa panahon para i-rate siya, pero siguro nasa 4 or 5 pa siya sa ngayon, no?
Okay.
Pero he's trying to address the problem right now by this Kadiwa store.
All right.
And I think we need a real Department of Agriculture Secretary na to manage this. Kasi you have so many in his place right now. No, yung Maharlika funds and everything. I think he has really to concentrate on looking the welfare, especially those below poverty line and the underemployed. That's about 51 to 60%. Yun ang nakakalungkot. So siguro dapat suportahan natin ang presidente ngayon. But again, kailangan lang ng budget planning and at the same time live simply. No? Natin kasi mga Pilipino parang piyesta yan. Kung may pera, lalo't magpapasko, iraraos yan. Paano pagdating ng January?
That's true. Rick, thank you so much.
Yun lang.
Rick, thank you so much for your insights. So you're rating the president between 4 to 5, so that's below average. Thank you so much for your insights. Founder of the Philippine Coalition of Consumer Welfare, Ricardo Samaniego.